This is Things You Might Have Heard from the Conversation Project, your home for headline news, information, and pop culture references that are worth chatting about. I'm I'm that guy, Jay Cleveland Payne, and this morning, as I record this, rolling to you live, 5:30 a.m. Central Time here in Arkansas, we have a nice smattering of stories to talk about. 10 stories, as always, for your for your Monday morning. Already off to a blazing start. It is the 22nd of September, so it is Monday. Trust me on that one. And we are going to open up with some Charlie Kirk and some memorial service. Also, Trump and his H-1B visas and what they're going to be. And Taylor Swift's album release party, which is coming to a theater near you, plus 7 other stories, some Trump adjacent, that you deem as conversation. You helped us pick these stories out by following us on our social media sites, on Facebook and on X, to go through the sites we post every 50 minutes there to get some engagement with there. Plus, some of the breaking news stories as they come about. So we will get to all those stories in just a bit. Very quickly, I want to remind you that our home website, the place we live online, is this. It's theconversationproject.com, where you can find more details about what we do, how we do it, and our origin story, plus links to partnerships and sponsors as well. Today's spotlight sponsor, which you directly get to by going to this is theconversationproject.com/ground news. We'll give you 40% off, or actually, they'll give you 40% off of their Vantage plans, all their news plans. We get a small commission back for getting you in the door. It is all good for all of us, and they will give you great news like they give us every single day. Let's get into the headlines for today. As I said, the 22nd of September, 2025. We got a long way to go, so let's get into this show for today. We open up with the biggest story of the morning, biggest story of the weekend, biggest story of the week, and the big story that will be in our lives for much longer than it probably needs to be, because no sense of closure, but I guess, a changing of a chapter, if you will. Charlie Kirk's memorial service honors the conservative activist, which happened last night. Thousands filled State Farm Stadium as speakers framed Charlie Kirk's memorial as a monument, a movement, and a mandate to continue his mission. President Trump attended as well. He spoke, underscoring Kirk's central role in conservative youth politics and dropping some hints that he's going to cure autism today or something like that. Organizers leaned on the patriotic visuals and testimonials from Turning Point USA's alumni to cement Kirk's legacy. The memorial also served as a fundraising event, organized event, and a touch point for Turning Point Network going forward. Coverage focused on the scale, symbolism, and how the conservative activist brand will be basically stewarded posthumously. This was a large event. This was a very big event. This is one that I did already a hot take on, so it's hard to really go deeper into this one. And I've had 12 hours or so to sleep on it to kind of go deeper into this one. Mine doesn't change, thought doesn't change, but the whole point of how the going forward thing for Turning Point USA is the difference. Now, Erica Kirk, his wife, will take over as the leader. Many people have shuffled some positions so they can take some of those leadership roles that they didn't have before to keep it going, and they're going to take this big time. And of course, big note from Erica Kirk's speech last night was the grieving widow said that she forgives the man who killed her husband and wants us to live on that path of forgiveness and not on redemption. We'll see how long that stands in the rhetoric they will speak going forward. And of course, Donald Trump did an hour of how great he is and how Charlie the Great was great, and retribution. So there's that. We'll see how this plays out as it will continue to ripple throughout the couple of days. And of course, Turning Point USA now a larger staple as their last night's or yesterday afternoon's memorial service turned into a church revival, a political rally, and maybe a call for peace. Maybe. Meanwhile, Donald Trump was shot at twice. 2 attempted assassinations. One man died at the scene. The other one didn't quite get the shot off, didn't quite get the thing going, and now he has to get his due process, his time in court. But this man, who of course tried to kill Donald Trump, says he's going to represent himself. He's doing that so far for a week and only has 3 witnesses to call. This is Ryan Ruth, the self-representing Florida man who told court he'll call just 3 witnesses, a firearms expert and 2 character witnesses for his trial for the attempted assassination of presidential candidate then, former president at the time and current president now, Donald Trump. Prosecutors has presented dozens of witnesses alleging Ruth aimed a rifle at Trump during a 2024 golf outing. The judge permitted self-representation after a competency review, which was a bit wild as well. Closing arguments could only be wild. They can come pretty quick if Ruth's brief cross examines go pretty brief. I mean, he can't really examine himself, apparently. Now, Ruth has pleaded not guilty to attempted assassination and related charges. He may choose not to testify. Most likely, that would be a weird thing and show that he does have an idiot for a client. In context, the prosecution rested late last week, essentially said they're done setting up the compressed defense case. 3 witnesses on the docket. We shall see what happens. Oh boy, we shall see. Trump is raising the H-1B visa fee to $100,000. Now, the picture you see right there is not the H-1B visa. It's the Trump gold card, the $1 million to get into the nation. I couldn't find a visa picture because, they're just, a signed piece of paper for executive order. But the administration has moved to impose a now annual fee of $100,000 for H-1B visas, a dramatic cost surge that tech and academia would have to basically put up with to get people in these programs. If they're worth it, they're paying more money for it. USCIS posted updated guidance following Friday's presidential proclamation on restricting certain non-immigrant workers. Now, supporters are pitching that the H-1B fee as labor market protection. Critics are warning that it offshores and research slowdowns, showing the people that if we want good talent, we're making people pay extra for it. So why should that good talent come here? Why doesn't it stay home or go to other places that may not be as friendly to us? Companies are modeling whether to shift their non-nearshore contractors or accelerate automations to absorb costs. Not hire more local people, but buy more AI or pay more money. That's where things are going. This is not bringing American jobs. This is spending more money on AI, which may be a good thing since we're controlling it now, but also means less people doing less things. Experts are expecting legal challenges to happen and lobbying from many industry groups. Details on carving outs and exceptions remain key to how you actually get through this. We shall all see. Trump wants his base back. And Taliban spokesman basically rejected any U.S. return to Bagram, citing sovereignty and the Doha agreement that told them to leave. Trump floated pressure tactics that the Taliban called a realistic approach instead would be needed to have this thing work. And by realistic, the Taliban is pretty much a non-starter. The exchange revives debate over the 2021 withdrawal and the feasibility of reestablishing a footprint. Remember, the withdrawal was actually Trump's idea, though it was sort of forced to hand to Joe Biden. If Trump would have won the election in 2020, if he'd won the election in 2020, he'd have been on the hook for doing this. And whether he'd done it better or worse, we can't revise that history and know. But essentially, the forced hand of how it had to happen was based off a Trump decision, and Biden did not do well with it. U.S. Taliban contact continues in other channels, but Kabul says Bagram is not in the question. Nowhere is happening. It can't happen. No, 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 no. Regional partners are watching for any ripple effects from the counterterror cooperation. But as it stands right now, the Taliban is not willing to give up the base to give the U.S. a footing in the area because they are the Taliban. Exactly. One more shot at airplanes in bad places. This is German fighter jets, which had to be scrambled after Russian military planes crossed the Baltic Sea. The Russians are poking the bear a lot, testing the barriers literally of airspace with drones and airplanes. And German dispatched 2 Eurofighters to track a Russian Il-20 reconnaissance plane flying in international and neutral Baltic airspace without a flight plan. Sweden's grippers later took over the escort and intercepted it without any incident, basically sent it back into untended waters. The German scramble follows a string of regional aerospace functions that have Baltic Nordic states in alert, but Russians flying over their airspace or near enough to their airspace. Officials published photos and a brief statements that no engagement occurred in this incident. And analysts are framing the intercept as a routine, quick action alert. Nothing all that surprising about the routine and getting it done. The big surprising thing is that it is with Russia, where the tensions are rising as they are looking to not de-escalate, and apparently not in the war in Ukraine, but essentially rattle some sabers and be Russia. Quick pause from the news. 5 more stories to come, including the life of a showgirl coming to a theater near you. But first, let's talk about us, like really us, you and I together. We need your assistance. We need your help. We need you to help us carry things along. We are doing our best to make this thing happen, especially in the world where I'll say free speech is becoming a bit of a luxury. and people like smaller creators like myself trying to grow and have their speech heard and have their say out there, having hard times getting it done. So with that, we need you to help us grow what we do. Like the video you're watching now, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or on X, because we need you to like it. We need you to show that there's love going to this. We need you to give the algorithm reasons to share it with the folks. I need to know I'm doing a good job. It's that simple. Share with like-minded people so that we have more people who you think would enjoy it, or if you're a hate watcher, you think will hate it, be involved in the watching. Hopefully they will watch it and hate or enjoy and continue to share and engage as well. And the big thing is subscribe. If you're not a part of our band of brotherhoods and sisterhoods of people who are into being news nerds, we need you a part of it. Now, it's real important that you join us on YouTube because this is our numbers at YouTube. We are growing at a great length, great leaps and bounds of what we've been thought we're going to do. Close to almost 500 new subscribers over the year. We're hoping to double that 2,000, but that was a pretty big task. We thought so, but we're going to probably hit that 500 and plus more. And if we're lucky, if we get a burst, maybe we get close enough to 1,000 to be, proud about it, at least 1,000 within a nice span of 8 months instead of 2 years. Meanwhile, we need your help. Like us and subscribe to us on YouTube, on Facebook and X as well, and follow us on feeds to be engaged with stories. But YouTube is where we make our bread and butter. We make actual money from YouTube, and your subscriptions makes a difference. Also, join us there as well for extra support if you want to, or go to our partnerships page and become a partner there using the Buy Me a Coffee platform. We can use your help to grow what we have going on. We've got a lot of work into this, and we do a lot of stuff going forward. So we want you to help us keep growing, keep going, and keep free speech alive, even if you're not so much a fan of the words I'm saying or the face that's saying it. Keep an outlet out there so that you have less to complain about when people are, attacking your stances. AMC is listing the official release party of a Showgirl as the release party for the album The Life of a Showgirl for Taylor Swift. A new music video premiere, lyrics, videos, and Swift commentary coming out in the theaters. Taylor Swift release party is positioned as a fan event bridge between album drop and tour cycle content. The expected merch and tie-in stuff and social prompts still drive across the new platforms, the Swift ecosystem, if you will, and have people going nuts for the next big thing. Theaters lean on premium screens and sound to convert music fandom into event cinema revenue. Theaters need a revenue. Taylor Swift needs a little bit of promotion. It's all good and gravy. Early show times and queues reflect high demand for Swift's adjacent programming. Come out there and see the new release party at theaters, AMC theaters near you. Look for your local listings to see where they shall be. In the meantime, you can get the actual album with the actual album art, not just the pictures and the memes from the court case, because the highly anticipated album "Am I the Drama?" question mark has now been released. A 23-track project that features an album length of 71 minutes of pure new music from Cardi B. Streaming platforms anchored the rollout with artist interviews and some video extras out there as well. Early coverage, spotlight collaborations, and an aggressive promo cadence to get this thing out there big time. It didn't quite hurt that she won a lawsuit that said that she hit a woman as security and caused her physical harm. She won the lawsuit. She wore lots of wigs. She was pretty Cardi B-ish. And rolling out of that one, album's out. Let's go for it. Plus, baby's on the way. Let's go for it. Cardi B is living a pretty good life right now. Let's see how the album sales or streams, if you will, go for this one. Fans immediately dissected the track list and themes of the social platforms to say what's going on, who's she talking about, and how did we get here. We shall see if you listen to it soon, sooner or later, because it will be the talk of the town for music for quite some time. It positions Cardi B with a heavy Q4 Media Awards push, along with getting some love, if you will, from a court case that she won. Steve Ballmer says he was duped in the Kawhi Leonard case, a twist in what's going on. Reports said that Steve Ballmer and or club entities sent large payments to Aspiration tied to carbon credits for alleged Kawhi Leonard linked funds were surfaced. This is a part of the deal that gave Kawhi Leonard an actual endorsement with this company, Aspiration, and this company that is tied to the Clippers and Steve Ballmer. But he did nothing for it. He got the money for endorsements that didn't show, and now there's issues for salary cap issues for the Clippers. Meanwhile, Ballmer says he was duped by third parties. The NBA is probing possible cap circumstances. Media coverage all over the place for this one. Facts are still being sorted about the filings, about the statements inside podcasts. Everyone's looking into what they can about this issue. Kawhi Leonard, who was a beloved member of the Toronto Raptors, helped them win a championship there and leaving for better things, which is fine. And then scandal came about because of a uncle who is one of his business managers, basically looking for essentially ways to get pieces of the action in many places, including a piece of a hockey team that the Raptors were like, no, thank you. Go back to US. Outcome hinges on proof that payments were intended to benefit the player under the contract, not just some bad filing. For now, the team denies any wrongdoing and invites league scrutiny until the scrutiny shows that they may be complicit. Caitlin Clark's not on the court right now, but she's still being fined, and she's fined $200 over social media posts criticizing referees. The referees posting, a post against referees was, refs couldn't stop us after a Fever playoff win, and that was worth $200. We're not going to complain about the amount of money that the players getting paid. And $200 might actually mean a bit more for her. Maybe not for her because she has now this new shoe deal going on for it. But essentially, ticky tack going forward. WNBA fine reflects the league's narrow line on public officiation criticism. Anything is out there, and even if it's just $200 for this slap on the wrist. Local beat coverage confirmed the amount and referred to this one as prior cautions that were given to Clark and players in a sense. Clark leaned to the moment online, downplaying the penalty. Indiana's postseason run has amplified scrutiny of the star-driven commentary, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, but yeah, refs can't hold us back. She's paying $200. It is what it is. Our OFA session is back. It's been a while since we talked about the fan site for fans to get a little bit of extra pieces of the action of many folks out there. But here's the deal: your your OnlyFans can also be a way to get become your only source of income. As a Harry Potter star says, she's now barred from fan conventions because of her OF content. Jesse Cave, who's Lavender Brown, said the Harry Potter fan conventions disinvited her because of her now doing OnlyFans. That's a quote from the Harry Potter fan convention people. Cave wrote that the decision undercuts claims of being family friendly, giving other actors adult themed roles. Many other guys plays things that get beat up. I mean, Harry Potter himself has played, a guy with guns taped to his hands. What's up with that? Trade coverage notes conventions work has been a key income stream for legacy cast members. It's something I see. I saw this past week when I went to Arkansas Comic Con, where many old wrestlers, Jake the Snake Roberts, and also there was Mick Foley was there. Priscilla Presley was signing autographs. Didn't know that was going to happen, but hey, people with legacy star power show up so that they can make money on the circuit for autographs and being at conventions. Folks like the Harry Potter kids, who are no longer kids and not making that much big money in their big roles now, can use this stuff. Although the big issue comes, the ricochet comes from many people, such as this star here, who decides because they're not making money in the big time, going to an OnlyFans style of asset. This is an issue that's going to keep coming up, and not just because I look for OnlyFans stories and get geeked out about them, but this is an issue that really makes sense. It really is about cash. It really is about money. It really is about livelihood. She's finding a way to live her life and make money and survive in this economy. But the easier way would be to hang out with the Harry Potter convention folks and be a part of the family. Family, unfortunately, is shunning her because of her OF page. If you are used to maybe being shunned by your tribe because you want a little extra news in your news coverage, maybe you should check out Ground News and kind of break away from the pack. Ground News is a great website, a great service that allows you to see more of the news. And not even the way that you think you should see your news, not in the way you think news is usually covered. It's more news that is out there that you can get a chance to see what's happening because you get a literally good chance to see what happening in all sort of various different formats. You see the people behind the sources, the money behind the sources, the thought processes, conservative and Republican, or maybe more or less down the line. You also get to see that life can be good in the news world or life can be bad in the news world based on what you're getting. If you pay for their Advantage plan, and you get a great deal by going to our link, this is conversationproject.com/ground news, 40% off that plan, you get access to their blind spot feature, which shows you exactly what news stories you're not being shown and exactly what news stories they are showing you. That's your news silo more than the others are showing. So you get to see a real clue of what's happening for um, the actual coverage of everything. Excuse me for that. Ground news, it aggregates local, national, and international news, and it's probably something that should be in your toolbox. If you want to go deeper into it, the 40% off plans will give your basic plan for less than $1 a month and your Advantage plan for less than $10 a month, and it gives all the extra features. Check it out today at this. It's a conversationproject.com/ground news. This it's a conversationproject.com/ground news, and join for us today. I Glad to have you with us today. It's Monday, the 22nd September. Thank you so much for Gilbert Glenn for popping in again. And of course, he dropped in a couple of verses to get the week started. Genesis 3:15, Acts 2:38, and John 3:5. Check those out. Get a little bit of stuff going on. Oh, by the way, I'm working on a as I segue for that one that's popped up, working on a devotional, for lack of a better term, but a early morning Bible study or quick 2-minute Bible studies for something to work for people like me who's really busy and can't get away from the excuses not to check out a little bit of Bible study. It's a verse a day. It's a focus a day. It's something you journal or you think about for about 2 minutes going forward. We may produce that here directly. It's not necessarily a more better media thing, but it may turn into it since it's more better media. Also, we have Chris who popped in who talked about the OF controversy. I'll stop talking about that because I'm already probably demonetized as it is. Go for that one. And thank those folks for jumping in for some comments live and for watching live as well. If you want to comment to me live as you watch it, if you can bear to get up this early, we thank you for it. If you want to comment in the actual comments for the future stuff that's going on in the actual replays, let us know where you're calling from, radio stuff. Let us know where you're listening, watching us from, and let us know your details info. You can also check in on some hot takes. I have some hot takes already recorded that I'm going to chop up going forward. We're going to talk about, we did Charlie Kirk's memorial last night. We're going to talk about Pam Bondi's directive to prosecute more of Trump's enemies in a bit, and also the guy who's representing himself who tried to shoot at Donald Trump and has proven that, yes, he is a moron. But check out those hot takes on the platforms for TikTok and YouTube as well. And check out everything we have going on. Well, go to our website. This is conversationproject.com and find all the things you can find about us, including more sponsor opportunities and, of course, partnerships to go forward. Love you guys. Mean it so much. Thank you so much for being with me, either live or watching this in the replay. We're going to do what we can. What another long week ahead of ourselves. This is independent journalism, for lack of a better term, and it's independent work. And sometimes the work gets in the way because it's the work. Let me know that what I'm doing is worthy. Let me know what I'm doing is good. Let me know what I'm doing is decent. And just let me know that I'm okay. Or let me know that you're okay. That's great. Love the verses this morning, Glenn. Thank you so much because I need a little extra Jesus in my life this morning. We'll talk to you all again tomorrow.